Hello everyone, Monisha here. In our previous video, we studied about transportation in human beings. In this video, we will be learning about transportation in plants. Just like human beings, plants also require various methods to transport food, minerals and water to all parts of its body. Come let us know that what are the techniques plants uses to transfer the food and water from root to all parts of its body and also from its leaves. Come let us start the session. Transport system. Most plants have developed complex vascular system that move nutrients and water throughout the plant body through tubes and conductive cells. The vascular tissues of these plants are called xylem and phloem, the two main important components in plant which used for the transportation of food and mineral salts to all over the body of a plant. Reason for transport system. In unicellular organisms, they can transport materials like oxygen and urea in and out of their bodies. But in multicellular organisms, most of the cells inside the organisms are too far from the surface of their bodies, and diffusion and osmosis are too slow to be relied on. A transportation system is required for food and oxygen to be brought efficiently from one place to another. Diffusion and osmosis would take place between the transport system and the cell. We will know the definition of diffusion and osmosis in the end of this session. Transport system in plants. There are basically two types of transport system in plants. One that transports water and minerals from root to all parts of its body. These vessels are called xylem vessels. The xylem vessels mainly transport water and minerals. Another vessels transport sugar, that is sucrose, and amino acids made in leaves to all other parts of the plant. These are called phloem vessels. By this, you would have understood that xylem transfers water and minerals, whereas phloem transfers sugar and amino acids to all parts of the plant. Come let us know some of the functions. The shoot tip of a plant is signified as a growth of a plant. The main function of a leaf is photosynthesis and transpiration, where the definition of transpiration we will be learning later. Xylem. There are two types of vascular tissues as I mentioned earlier. One is xylem and the one is phloem. Xylem transports water and inorganic nutrients, whereas phloem transports organic nutrients. Stem. The main functions are transport, holds leaves in a best position to obtain sunlight. Internal root, anchorage and absorption. Root tip or root cap for growth of a plant. Xylem vessels. Xylem consists of mainly xylem vessels that are made up of dead cells. Xylem cells are elongated cells, means it is enlarged. Inner walls of xylem vessels are strengthened by a material called lignin. Lignin deposited in the form of rings or spirals. Lignin is a very essential compound in plants. Xylem. So this is the basic structure of xylem, which is called as longitudinal section. Thick cell wall containing lignin, thin area of cell wall also called as a pit, space containing no cytoplasm, and gap where end wall of a cell has been lost. The compound lignin is mainly responsible for the yellowish color of leaves or a paper. Because of this compound lignin, after some days the paper will turn yellow. Adaptation of xylem vessels. Absence of cross walls, maintains a continuous lumen, protoplasm disintegrate, allows water to move efficiently, dead empty tube, maintains a continuous lumen, lignified walls that are rigid, xylem will not collapse, and supports the plant. So these are the functions of a xylem vessel. Phloem cells consist of mainly sieve tubes and companion cells. Sieve tubes consist of columns of sieve tube cells that are elongated and very thin-walled. Companion cells provide the nutrients and help the sieve tube to cell transport. It mainly manufactures food or sucrose. So in phloem cells, there are two types of helping organs or a component, that is sieve tube and companion cells. Phloem. The companion cells containing nucleus and dense cytoplasm. Cell wall containing cellulose but not lignin. In xylem there is lignin, but in phloem there is no lignin. The cell wall containing cellulose but not lignin. Sieve tubes containing strands of cytoplasm but no nucleus. Sieve plate formed from end wall of a sieve tube element. Adaptation of phloem cells. Bidirectional sucrose flow. Food can be transported to all parts of the plant. Cross walls perforated by sieve tube. Single row of thin elongated walls with minute pores. Living cells to conduct the food in the tube. Companion cell present. Consist of protoplasm and mitochondria. Assist sieve tubes in transport of food. Provides energy required for active transport. When dead, sieve elements will die off. So these are the adaptation of phloem cells. Let us know about the function of xylem and phloem. Xylem conduct water and mineral salts from roots to stem and leaves and provides mechanical support for the plant. So this is very important function of xylem. Next, phloem conduct manufactured food called as sucrose and amino acids from the leaves to other parts of the plant. So these are the two main important functions of xylem and phloem. Root hair cells. Thin hair-like outgrowth of an epidermal cell just behind the tip. Absorbs nutrients from the soil. Hair-like structures found on the epidermal cell of the root that allow a much larger surface area for water to be absorbed and used by the plant. So plants absorb water and minerals from the soil through root hairs. Root hair cells absorb water and nitrates from the soil efficiently. They help to hold the plant more firmly to the ground. Because we know that root is very much essential, and root is a thing which makes a connection for the food to travel inside the body of a plant. So for plants, the soil is the nearest and richest source of raw materials like nitrogen, phosphorus and other minerals. The absorption of these substances therefore occurs through a part in contact with the soil named root. Adaptation of root hairs. Finger-like extensions. It increases surface area to volume ratio to absorb water and mineral salts at a faster rate. Lower water potential. Allow osmosis and diffusion of nitrates to take place. Large vacuole to absorb as much water as it can hold. It's a living cell. It carries out respiration. This provides energy for active transport to take place when water potential lower in the soil. Let us know what is translocation. Translocation is a process of transporting food substances downwards from leaves to all parts of the plant through a phloem. Translocation of organic solute. Phloem tubes are delicate structures. These tubes are punctured by a small greenish insect, aphid, during its feeding from the young shoot of plant. Aphids are fluid feeders. They suck sugary substances from phloem tissues. The phloem contents are continued to come out. On examining the contents, it is found that it contains up to 30% sugar. Movement of water in plants. the uptake or loss of water by cells can take place by osmosis. Uptake of water by roots. The movement of water molecules from higher concentration to a lower concentration is called as osmosis. If water moves by osmosis into a cell, the process is called as endosmosis. And if the water moves out of the cell is called as exosmosis. So inside endosmosis and outside exosmosis. The cell wall of epidermal cells of roots is freely permeable to water and other minerals. The cell membrane is, however, partially permeable to some substance. Uptake of water by roots. The movement of water molecules from higher concentration to a lower concentration is called osmosis. If water moves by osmosis into a cell, this process is called as endosmosis. And if the water moves out of the cell is called as exosmosis. Endo and exo. Endo means going inside the cell and exo means going out of the cell. So these are the two types of osmosis. The cell wall of epidermal cells of roots is freely permeable to water and other minerals. The cell membrane is, however, partially permeable to some substances. Let us know about some important definitions pertaining to transportation in plants. Diffusion and osmosis. So diffusion means movement of molecules from higher concentration to lower concentration. Both solute and solvent move. You can see here in the first picture, the higher concentration of molecules moving to lower concentration. So the concentration becomes lesser and lesser. That is, the distance between the two molecules become lesser. This is called as diffusion. Whereas in osmosis, movement of a solvent, water, across a semi-permeable membrane. It can be any type of membrane. In plants or in animals, there will be a semi-permeable membrane from high to low solvent concentration. Only solvents move. Before in diffusion, the molecules will be moving in diffusion, whereas in osmosis, the solvent will be moving across a semi-permeable membrane. So this can be understood even more clearly by a diagram. So osmosis, where there is a semi-permeable membrane, where pure water, that is moving from that semi-permeable membrane to the solution. Whereas in diffusion, the molecules which are at a higher concentration is moving to a place where it is a lower concentration. So this is the basic difference between osmosis and diffusion. Let us know about a comparison of transpiration and translocation. So transpiration, mainly it transports water and mineral and iron from soil to leaves, flowers and fruits. Mechanism is passive process using a tension in the xylem produced by evaporation of water. So this happens when from the stomata, when the water evaporates, the evaporation process sucks the xylem tissues water to all parts of the body of a plant. High rate on hot, sunny, windy and dry days. In translocation, the transportation of sucrose and amino acids takes place from leaves to shoot, root tip, root cortex, seeds, flowers and fruits. Mechanism is active process. The water enters the tubes to build up a head of a pressure that forces the phloem sap to the sinks. High rate on warm sunny days when plants are producing more sugar. So transpiration process, water is absorbed by root, water travels up through the plant and water vapor lost from the leaf pores in transpiration, that is from the stomata. The small openings on the underside of the leaves are called as a stomata. So this is the process of transpiration. Whereas in translocation is a long distance transport of food materials within the plant. So glucose produced by photosynthesis in leaf is converted into sugar, mainly sucrose, and translocated to different parts of the plant. To storage organ, that is a fruit, to be stored mainly as sugars. To growing regions, to be used to energy for growth. To storage organ, tubers in roots, to be stored mainly as a starch. So this food materials from photosynthesis is mainly coming from the leaves to all parts of the plant. In roots, it is mainly as a starch it is stored. In fruit, mainly as a sugar. and in the other regions where the growth will happen, the energy in the form of a growth. So this is the meaning of translocation. I hope you understood how transportation of water and mineral salts happen in plants. Let us know a funny fact or a fact about plants. Seattle is planning to build a new city park filled with hundreds of edible plants such as fruit trees, vegetable plants, herbs, etc. Free to anyone and everyone. If successful, it will be the first food forest of the nation. So one more fact is, there is a plant that is able to simultaneously produce both tomatoes and potatoes, cleverly named as ketchup and fries. If you have any question or queries about this video, please comment me on the comment section below and also comment me about the video. Thank you. Thanks for your patience.